Okay, so we have Nadia on here tonight. Oh my gosh, girl, when I saw that you went double diamond in 2 months and 10 days, literally right away, I sent it in my team chat and I was like, who wants to do this? And we should get this girl on Zoom because I know that she has. Make sure you guys are muted. I can't figure out who is in. Mute yourself, mute yourselves. Mute, mute. Okay, I think I got everybody. So sorry. Okay, so we had a list of kind of questions come in for Nadia tonight. So we're just gonna hop on and we're gonna get started. I would love for you to start with just sharing your story and like tell us everything, girl, from the day you joined to where you're at now. How the heck did you go double diamond in 2 months? Everything, whatever you want to share, you can just kind of start there and we'll move on from there.
Okay, so I am Nadia. I just went double diamond last month on like the 28th. So my story's a little hectic. It's a little different. So I was a teen mom. I filed bankruptcy before I could legally even drink. I was 20 years old when I filed bankruptcy. My now husband filed bankruptcy at the same time. We had a car repossessed. We got evicted. Like literally worst case scenario. We got forced out of our apartment with a 3-month-old. Literally 2016 was probably my worst year. 2017, we moved in with my husband's friends at the time. And one of them was a felon. So that turned into a whole bad situation. But when I was living with them, I actually joined this business for the first time. So I was in the business in 2017. I was in the business from 2017 to December of last year. I went Ruby. I went executive my first 60 days, Ruby my first 4 months, first time around. And then I just became stagnant. It wasn't necessarily that I wasn't working, because I was working. It just wasn't consistently. And I didn't have the right support system, A, at home, and B, on my team. My team was just not a good fit for me. When I was getting ready to grow and do this with my business, my team just wasn't the support system that I needed. So that was about a 1.5-year decision in the process. I literally waited like a 1.5 years before I finally was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a break. So I took a break in December of last year, just after Christmas. I think it was like, or no, it would have been just before Christmas. And then my 90 days was up March 16th. I texted Morgan. I'm like, send me your website. I need to get started. Like, let's go. Cause I'm already tired of being off of my phone. Like, I need this business. And so I rejoined, and I told her, Morgan and I had talked almost every day for that 90 days that I had quit and was taking a break. And I literally told her, I said, when I come back, I have to go diamond within my first 90 days. Like there is no question. Like I have to go diamond in my first 90 days. There were a couple reasons for that. A, I was in the business before for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. I literally like put myself more in debt just to get to conferences every year. And so it was just one thing that I wanted to prove to myself that yes, I can do this. But the other is my husband does not support this business at all. He is not supportive. He threw a fit when I told him I was restarting this. The first time I joined, I did not tell him for 3 days that I started the business. And then he said, okay, if you're doing this, that's fine, but like block me from your posts. So my husband does not see my Facebook posts. He sees my Instagram posts, but he doesn't read them. We made an agreement that our like super close mutual friends, I would block them from those posts on Facebook. So they're blocked from those posts on Facebook. And other than that, my posts are free for all. Last month was my biggest paycheck that I had ever made, and I was paid as a Ruby. It was my biggest paycheck I had ever made in the business. including like all of the last time I was in the business. And it was just that was just my second paycheck. And so I sent him a screenshot. I'm like, this is what my paycheck is this month. And he was like, oh, okay. And like really trying to hold back a smile. And so he's still like a little iffy on it and everything. And so then this month I was like, okay, well, just so you know, like, I earned a crap ton of bonuses, and I literally broke it down. I'm like, this is how they're going to get paid out. You know, June, they won't come because that's my validation month, but, you know, next month they're going to come in and they're going to literally cover our monthly bills. Like that is what that's going to do. And he is still like, okay, like that's cool. But he is until it's in front of me, I don't believe it. So I'm going to pull up what all questions you were. So when I joined, I was a little leery on it with rejoining again. I even texted Morgan the day before. So if you have people who hesitate, it's totally normal because I had been in the business before, and I even texted Morgan like the day before. I'm like, so yeah, I'm not real sure about this. And I did it anyways. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do it. And I said, diamond 90 days. Like there's no question about it. It has to happen. And we took it and we were like, okay, you went Ruby your first month. That's great. And then she's like, okay, we're going ambassador next month. And I need you at double to go ambassador. I'm like, okay. And I am someone who I refuse to be the person that holds someone else back. So for me, I'm like, okay, she needs me at double. I'm going to get to double. And yes, it was very much my team that helped me get there. Literally could not have gotten there without my team. That GV, I am not a mass customer enroller. I am not a mass distributor enroller. I am not a mass enroller right now. Not to say that I never will be, because that's my goal for this month is to be a mass enroller. But last month I was not. And it literally, my team, we could not have gotten there without them. And Emily, I am consistent, but I'm not at the same time. I'm going to touch on it a little bit. So being a mom of a 4-year-old, my days are hectic. Sometimes I do the bare minimum. Sometimes I am like, okay, great. I posted on my story 3 times. You know what? I did a voice video or like a video of me talking. Or even if I'm like, you know what? I did a boomerang of Braxton today. I'm good. And like, sometimes I really do. Like, it's just the bare minimum because I am just mentally exhausted from dealing with my son. So literally my typical day is completely different every single day. Like, we have a schedule. Very loose schedule, I should say. Normally he's at school with coronavirus. Hold on. Alexa, can you turn the light on? It's getting dark in here and it's bugging me. Okay. I literally, after Corona hit here, we got like thrown for a loop. So he's normally in school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this fall he'll be going to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So normally I can get a little extra work done on those days because he's gone in the morning and I can get stuff done those days. That's not happening right now. So that has thrown a loop in everything. A lot of my time is spent at night. I'm not really a morning person. Morgan says that I can be. I question that. I have never been a morning person. My mom, when I was a teenager, would not talk to me until after 11 o'clock in the morning. So I literally wake up at 8 o'clock, which is like the earliest I've ever woken up in my entire life, other than if I'm getting on a plane at 6. So I wake up at 8. I get Braxton dressed and ready to go. And he is a very go, go, go child. So like, as soon as he wakes up, he's like, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? I'm like, okay, I need my coffee first. Like, take a chill. And so I can normally count him into one movie, and I will try and get as much done as I can during that movie. I will like throw up a host to post giveaway picture on my or on my Facebook. I will message Diesel. You're not dying, you're fine. I will literally throw a host to post up, a story up, and I try and like reach out to my team. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what do you need help with today? And then from there, my day, I'm pretty much like, go whatever I can get done when I can is what I'm doing. And then at night, I try to get on power hours. Sometimes it's like impossible with Braxton. And so I'll try and get on power hours, but no matter what, from after, I like to do after 10 o'clock is when my dogs are driving me nuts right now. After 10 o'clock is when I will like really hardcore be like, okay, this is my business time. And because that's normally when my husband goes to bed and I'm like alone for the first time in 12 hours. So that's when I can really focus on it too. And so I'm a night owl. I will stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 8. Like, I'm fine with that. But do not wake me up at 6. Like, that's just a no-go for me. So I am 100% a night owl. I will get 90% of my work done at night. Honestly, best tips for when it comes to LCs and distributors, loyal customers, host to post. Every single person that I have talked, I have not cold messaged. I cold messaged, like, it wasn't even really cold messaging. I messaged like my old friends, my old customers when I first started to get my 6 customers in. But after that, the only people that I've really talked to are people who have, I'm going to send you my host to post, Caitlin, for you to put in the chat. I only do coffee, or sometimes I do, if it's a guy, I do Thermophyte X. I just sent you all 3 of my messages. So I don't really like to cold message because I did that a lot with the first time I did the business, and I just like didn't get anywhere. My messages just got bogged down, and I had a bunch of people who like I was trying to follow up with, but they weren't even interested to begin with. So I was literally just wasting my time. And so with host to post, not only am I growing my network, but I'm literally talking to people who are actually interested. Like, they are wanting information when I message them. And so for me, like, I don't consider that cold messaging at all. I consider that just like I'm just passing on the information. To me, that's not any different than, you know, going to McDonald's and then being like, do you want to add this on to your meal today? So for me, host to post with loyal customers, that's my go-to with customers. Or like friends and family favors, but like my family, not that supportive, except for my mom. She is literally, I could literally sell dirt to her and she would buy it. And it could be like the janky dirt that doesn't grow anything, and she would buy it. So with distributors though, what I like to do is I love the influencer application. I don't know if you guys have had your influencer application, if you guys have filled them out yet, or made them. I made one, and it literally, like, I had 4 people fill it out on Monday and Tuesday when we had the $24 and $48 deal, and every single person that filled it out signed up on the spot. Like, I messaged them and I'm like, hey girl, I got your influencer application. And then like I went into, I don't know if you guys have Courtney Boer's script, but then I would say, like, do you spend 30 minutes on social media a day? And just like started going through my potential distributor script, and they're like, yep, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, great, let's do it. And they just signed up instantly. And so for me, the influencer application is basic. It's like a host to post. they're giving me their information willingly. I'm getting their phone number. I'm getting their email. Like, I'm pretty much getting all the information that I need without even having a conversation with them. They're telling me why they want to join the business. They're telling me how much they want to make, that they're 18 or over, because Lord knows, Instagram, you cannot tell if someone is 18 or older anymore. I have so many followers on Instagram, and some of them I'm like scrolling through and they're like holding the 13 balloons for their 13th birthday. I'm like, dude, I looked like JoJo Siwa at 13, okay? And so for me, I'm like, I can't tell anymore. So I have the influencer application in my bio on Instagram. TikTok, I do TikTok, okay? They look a little janky, I'm not gonna lie. They're a little janky, but it's fine. I do TikTok. I tell them that to go fill out the application that's in my Instagram bio, and I put my Instagram handle in my video. And then anytime I do a life post, I put that in the comments. I always tell them, like on Facebook, I'm like, okay, go fill out this application in the comments. Or if it's on Instagram, I say, fill out the application in my bio. And that is literally all I do for distributors, other than, like, obviously I'll do like host to post for distributors and stuff, but really the influencer application has made it a lot easier because it's really started to weed out the people who aren't truly serious about it. How do I train new distributors?
I'm going to stop you for 1 sec.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm just going to give you a break, but you're doing amazing. And honestly, you guys, I'm taking notes. I'm so excited right now. And we have some new people on here. So if you aren't familiar with what the influencer application is, it's something new that we all are just kind of starting to implement, and it's amazing. So basically you just go to Google. I have a video that explains it all. If you want the video, I can send it to you, but it's a Google form and people can just go to it. Your story is what is right at the face of the form. So they read your story, they answer a few questions. And you are exactly right. There's girls on my team who are using it and it's blowing up, and every single person that's getting started on their team, it's like for the first time ever since they joined their business, they're brand new distributors. They're getting 6 customers on their own. Like, these people are so much more serious. And it's just been a huge success. So if you haven't done that yet, take the time to do it. It goes so well with your host to post. It goes so well with just your opportunity posts that you're putting out there. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. Also, I just want to put out there the fact that you said you don't have a lot of support in this business. And, you know, there's a lot of people that can relate to you. But I'm thankful that you were like vulnerable and you shared that, because I think there's a lot of people sitting back right now thinking like, hey, you know, I'm not alone. And you don't have a lot of support, but look where you are right now. You're not letting the opinions of other people like pull you back because they're not paying your bills, right? You got to work hard to get to where you want. So that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. And I'm sure one day everybody will have your back. It just takes time.
Yeah, that is like the one thing that I'm like, okay, I feel like that is like one of the most important things for me to share about my story, is that I really don't have any support. My husband's not home right now. Like, he does respect, you know, that I have trainings and stuff. But really, for the most part, he just like doesn't want anything to do with the business. I'm like, that's fine. I don't need you to want anything to do with the business, but like, you have to respect like when I have trainings. Like, he right now, before this training, even I had an 8 o'clock training that Morgan and I and a couple other leaders did with our newbies, and we went out to his friends for a little bit, and it's like 7:40. I'm like, we have to go. Like, I have to go home and be home so I can do this training at 8. And he's like, okay. And he's like dilly-dallying, and he gets his dirt bike loaded and everything. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go. So like, he does like push his limits, but at 8 o'clock, he's out the door, he's gone. He's like, okay, let me know when you're done. I'm like, okay. So literally, and it's a lot harder when it's your husband too, because you can't really say, you know, they don't pay my bills. I'm not gonna lie, my husband helps pay my bill. Like, so I mean, as much as it is our money, he he is at least, you know, okay, you're at least making a little bit of money now and you're not, you know, throwing more money out than you are or you were last time. So yeah, I always feel like that's like a super important part of my story to share. Sorry, my dog is apparently being she needs a lot of attention right now.
No.
So honestly, training new distributors, when it comes to that, I'm not gonna lie, I low-key still suck at that. I am still, yes, I have my girls and I go through, we have a distributor training walkthrough, and I'll send it to you, Caitlin, so you can put it in the chat. And I do this step by step because I suck at this part. I'm working on getting better at it, but honestly, it's one of my weaknesses right now, and I'm really working on it. So I go through this step by step, and Caitlin, I just sent it to you. I go through it step by step. I have to start making them do their color personalities because I am like a little bit of every color, but I'm like green and yellow first. And for me, I am very forgetful about things sometimes. And so I will forget to have them do their color test or their personality quiz. And once I have them do that, it's a lot easier for me because I'm like, oh, okay, you're this personality type. This is like not going to work for you how I'm training you. I do get on FaceTimes with them within their first 72 hours. I do help them get their shopping sprees. I do tell them that their goal is to get their shopping spree in their first 72 hours. I had a girl 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. I think she joined like the same, I think like 15th or 16th of May she joined. And she didn't sign her first 6 customers in 72 hours. And she's like, but I didn't get it in 72 hours. I'm like, you don't have to do it in 72 hours. That is like ideal, but you don't have to do that. Nobody comes into this business and then expects you to just know what you're doing and instantly go sign 6 customers. Like, some people have a lot of support and some people can get their first 6 customers because they're going to their friends, their really close friends and their family. But for me, it literally took me my entire first 30 days to get my first 6 customers. Like, I was literally 2 days away from the 15th of April when I earned my shopping spree. So you don't have to earn your shopping spree in your first 72 hours. And so she joined and then didn't get her first 6 customers in 72 hours. And then like the following week went and signed 6 customers. And then just today, from host to post alone, she went and signed 3 customers. So, and she signed a distributor earlier this week too. So it's not necessarily that they have to get it within their first 72 hours. I always say their first 72 hours because if they have those connections, use them. Get your shopping spree as fast as you can so you can get products in your hand to be a product of the product as soon as you can. Especially now with like the digital kits, I'm telling my distributors, go sell them. Go sell the digital kits. You can get them sent to you, or you can go sell them, have them turn around and be like, hey, I want to be a customer, make more money down the road. And on top of that, you're going to be able to, if you haven't already, by the time they get their samples and everything, you'll probably be able to get your shopping spree still, because I think it takes like a week for them to ship out, which drives me nuts. So give them like 2 weeks. But if you sell them all in your first week, I had one girl, she literally sold all of her samples in her first 48 hours and made back her entire profit or her entire investment. So literally, I've just been telling them, go sell them. Get product that you want in your hand. If you're not a coffee drinker, go sell your samples and buy product that you want to try. And so that's literally all I've been doing with training. Honestly, as far as keeping them motivated, I can honestly say my downlines do a really good job of keeping themselves motivated. Like, we're all very like goal oriented. We're like, okay, we're going double this month, we're going triple this month, like this is what we're doing, this is where we need you, and that we just like go and do it. So for me, honestly, and I am very guilty of like having like a mid-month slump. I don't know if any of you guys have it, but like I will hit like the 15th through like the 20th. It's like a solid 5 days where I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta do this. Like, gotta stay consistent, right? Yep. Oh, missed a day. It's fine. Yeah, that's about what my, like, the week of the 15th looks like for me. It's like I get my paycheck and then I'm like, okay, time to check out. Don't do that. Honestly, what I've started doing is I have started doing personal development. This sounds so weird. You guys are probably going to think I'm a little kooky for this. My husband hates it. I do personal development while I sleep. I listen, like I go on YouTube and I turn on hypnosis. And it's personal development hypnosis. It's like attracting money hypnosis, wanting to be a healthier you hypnosis. Like it's really the most random ones, but if you want a really good hypnosis one, Michael Seeley on YouTube does he does some really good hypnosis ones. And he is the one that I normally go to. And then the other thing that I do is Audible. Audible is literally life. I pay for a subscription. My library is full of stuff. I have gone to the point of I finish books and then I transfer. You can actually transfer credits. So if you rent a book and finish it, you can exchange it for a different book. So like right now in my library, I have Take Control of Your Life by Mel Robbins, Present Over Perfect, which is next on my list, The Compound Effect, which I've already gone through, The 12-Week Year, which I've already gone through, The Illusion of Money, Atomic Habits. The hypnosis guy is Michael Seeley. It's Sealey. So that is like, I have gotten myself very strict on personal development because I, on top of, going through bankruptcy and everything, I struggled really bad with postpartum depression and it went untreated for 4 years. I literally did not get it treated until last, October is when it first started getting treated. So I am on like the highest dosage of anxiety and depression medications you can get. It even got to the point where it was affecting my sleep. So I'm on sleep meds for it too. And so I have made personal development a huge thing for me. I refuse to fall asleep without it now because it fits in my schedule because I'm sleeping. And B, I wake up and I feel so much better because I've had that positivity running in my ear all night long. So that's what I do to keep myself motivated. My team, like I said, they literally are just rock stars. They, for the most part, keep themselves motivated. I do have one girl who is a lot like me and she does get in slumps, not necessarily slumps, I guess. Trying to think of how to describe it. She will get down on herself if she doesn't feel like she's doing what she needs to do. And what I found, yes, gets in her own head. Thanks, Morgan, because Morgan knows who I'm talking about too. Because I get in my own head. And so when she gets in her own head, I sit down with her and like I call her and we just talk. We don't do anything except talk. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, what's going on with life? And we just talk as friends. Like, it doesn't have to be about the business. But then she just starts venting and venting and venting, and it all just comes out, and it's like a long spiral. And when she starts doing that, I like slowly start to point out. I'm like, okay, do you see it? Did you see what you just did there? Did you see what you just did there? And then afterwards, she's like, okay, I'm good. And she just goes, and she's like, okay, and goes and like signs a bunch of customers. And so it's crazy because I have one girl who is like just running and she's good to go. Like we never check into her. And then we have one girl who gets in her own head and she's very much like me, who sometimes you just need to talk. Like, that's fine. Just if you need to talk, like, let's just talk and let's get it out there. So that's what we do. We do have accountability chats. Well, actually, we just started one. And I didn't even start it. One of our triple diamonds on our team started it. It's a 75-day hard chat that we are starting on Monday. So I'm doing that with her. I'm working on seeing if my team will get on with me. But yeah, we literally just do the accountability chats. Like our big group chat. That's what we use to keep ourselves accountable. Contests, honestly, I don't do any. She'll do like weekly contests when we get it towards the end of the month. And she'll be like, okay, we're going to do this giveaway. And we just go off of that. That's just like how we've been doing it. If you are pushing for diamond this month, honestly, you're going to have to suck it up. And if you truly want to go diamond, you're going to have to get rid of a little bit of sleep. You're going to have to stay up until 4 o'clock and wake up at 8. You're going to have to say no to go. Sorry, my son's having a sleepover and my mom just tried to FaceTime me. Let me text her real quick. So you have to give up stuff, like point blank. You're not going to get to diamond if you don't give stuff up. Like, there is just no way. If you are already sleep deprived, find other ways to fit in ways to be productive going through the day. Like, if you have a newborn or a toddler who decides not to sleep for like 3 weeks, like my son does and did in March and April, it was awful. And I understand that whole sleep deprived thing. I took 1 day a week and I told my husband, you need to take him. And I would either stay home and I would work my business, or I would take a 1-hour nap and the rest of the time was working on my business. You are not going to get where you want to go in this business without sacrificing something, point blank. I don't care if you are sacrificing sleep. I don't care if you are sacrificing driving because you like driving. I don't care if you say, oh, I'm not going to drink pop until I go diamond. Lord knows I've tried that. It did not work for me. I am a sucker for Dr. Pepper. But for me, literally, I knew what I wanted, and I wanted it so bad that there was just nothing. And in all honesty, I still did this and still got to do stuff. We still went to I did not listen to COVID regulations a lot of the time. I mean, for the most part I did. We stuck with our family. But like, we went to our moms. Well, my husband's moms. And we would like go play cornhole and stuff. And I would just be on my phone messaging people and signing people up and training them and doing what I had to do. And then if my husband was like, okay, put your phone down for like 5 minutes, I would put my phone down for 5 minutes. 5 minutes isn't going to hurt you. It's when that 5 minutes builds up and that 5 minutes becomes 5 days. It's when that 5 minutes turns into 5 weeks. it's when that consistency falls away is when you're going to get discouraged, you're going to get unmotivated, you're going to lose everything that you just built. You can do 12 host to posts one day, but when you don't do host to posts or you don't post for 2 days, that's when you're going to run into issues. Because this is what I did when the last time I was in the business. I literally would post for 2 days, and I would post really good posts, and then 2 days later I wouldn't post for like 3 days. You have to be consistent, and you have to make sure that, obviously, like, you want to give yourself grace, but you don't want to give yourself so much grace that you fall out of line with your goal. If you are, like, if you're able to take 5 minutes, take 5 minutes. There's nothing wrong with taking 5 minutes. Just don't let those 5 minutes turn into 5 hours or 5 days or 5 weeks.
Yes.
Or heaven forbid, 5 months.
So I just had a thought. I just want to share it really quick. So it's really interesting what you're saying. Like, don't take 5 days, don't take 5 weeks. Like, you guys, I don't normally get into the whole slump thing that you were talking about midway through the month, but last month I did. And I'm noticing something with myself. Yes, I'm very go, go, go. I work hard all the time. Breaks are important too, because I think that's what helps us kind of refresh so that we're ready for that next step. But even if you decide like you need an afternoon off or a day off, like, make sure that you're still at least taking time to complete that 6 list or get your host posts up there. Because one thing that I noticed for myself, you guys, is if I take a day off from doing those 10 hosted posts, it sets you back, which means tomorrow I'm not going to have any potentials in my inbox because I didn't take the time to get those hosted posts up there yesterday. And what puts me in a rut is not enrolling. We need to make sure that we are doing the income producing activities, even if it's for an hour in the morning on our very, very busy day, because that's what's going to set us up with the potentials that we need for the next few days so that we can continue enrolling. We can continue having conversations with people that are interested. Because for myself personally, if I'm not enrolling, it's not a great day. And maybe I need to get over that because I know it happens, but like just lately, that's been something I've been struggling with. So I think that's a really good point. Take a break. Yes, it's okay to take a quick break because we need that, but don't let it drag on forever.
Yeah.
Keep our focus in the front of our mind. What else did I have here? I guess I just want to kind of go back again and I just keep thinking about the fact that like you were here before and you got started, and when you got started the second time around, like that was it was just a decision that you made. You got going and you were like, okay, I'm doing this. Like before, maybe I didn't put in my all, but right now I'm going to, because I have a goal and I know what this is going to do for my family, and I'm going to go all in. So for those of you that have been around for a while and maybe you've had it in your heart to go diamond for so long, I want you to know that this is a decision that you need to make. It's okay if you've been making small progress month after month after month, but it's your decision tomorrow to turn this around and say, I'm going diamond. I'm going to freaking do it. I'm going to make these sacrifices. I'm going to sleep less. I'm going to go to bed at 4 a.m. or wake up super early, whatever your lifestyle is like. But it's a decision, you guys. And that's something that I look at you, Nadia, and I'm like, go girl. Like, this is just incredible that it's just a mind shift. That's all it was for you. And you just decided you were going to do it. And you put in the work every single day to get it done. And now you're here, and you earned a $35,000 in bonuses last month.
Yep.
Like, go girl.
It's insane.
So it's even more here. Like, that is crazy.
And the thing that's even crazier to me is I'm still in my 90 days. I still have all of June to earn a triple bonus. So like for me, and I was doing the math I texted Morgan and I'm like, we just went double diamond. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh crap, I just earned bonuses too, didn't I? She's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, oh. And then I figured out how much our bonuses was, and I was like, that's more than my husband and I made last year combined. Like,
And all it took was making the decision to just go all in and do this for your family and for yourself. And I'm just so proud of you. I think that's just such an incredible story. And there's so many people on here right now that just need to make that one decision. They just need to decide tomorrow morning, tonight, right now, I'm doing this. It's Blue Diamond. Some of you are still up for bonuses. If you want to go triple, you can earn the 30,000. But okay,
and guys, literally, when I left the first time, it had nothing to do with the fact that I didn't like the business, or I never once left the business and was like, nope, that just didn't work for me. You don't have to leave the business to make the decision. And I don't want that to get confused, because I have had a lot of people who have been like, oh, well, you know, I'm just not doing very well right now, and I think I want to quit. Okay, first of all, you have to think about this. If you were to quit, you have to restart everything. It took me 1.5 years to finally make the jump to quit, and I cried the day that I quit. I bawled my eyes out. Me making the decision today or when I joined had nothing to do with the fact that I quit. So I don't want anyone to be like, well, she quit and then restarted and now she's double diamond. That's not what happened. There were personal reasons that I left, and when I came back, I knew better to make the decision and do that stuff. And literally, if I knew it was as easy as making a decision the last time I was in the business, I would have put my stuff aside and just been like, okay, I'm just making the decision and I'm going to do it. And I don't care if it's on this team or not. But my mental state was just not there. And so you guys can do this on this team with Caitlin, with your enroller, whoever it is. Literally all you have to do is say, okay, I'm going diamond this month, and stick to it. Don't do what I did last time where I was all, I'm going diamond this month, and then get like day 10 and be like, actually, I think I'm going to go emerald. And then get like to the 15th or the 25th and be like, actually maintaining ruby sounds really good this month. Like, you have to go. I literally, last month, end of April, Morgan said, okay, we're going ambassador next month. You need to be double diamond for me to go ambassador. And I said, okay, I'm going double diamond then. There was no, I didn't, like, think of your brain as an on and off switch. Your on switch is when you're running for a goal. Your off switch is when you're not working your business. You cannot have an in-between ground. You have to be, in order to get to where you want to go in this business, your light switch always has to be on. You're going to get tired. I'm going to tell you, you're going to get tired. Take an hour, take a nap, wake up, and go. Because you're not going to get where you want to go. You're not going to earn bonuses. You're not going to get to go on free trips to Margaritaville. You're not going to get to go on a cruise. You're not going to get to meet Pam and Mark and all of them. You're not going to be on the white couch on green carpet or conference. And Lord knows, I want to be on the freaking white couch. So your girl's going press by the end of the year, because I'm like, I need on that white couch. So you have to really set your goals. And honestly, for me, when I was in the business before, I set really big goals. I didn't really know how to set little goals. I didn't know how to set, okay, let's pay off this debt. It wasn't until I was on Morgan's team and Morgan was like, okay, how much debt do you have? And I'm like, well, you see, And then she's like, okay, you need to pay that off. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. And you just have to really sit down. Caitlin has the YouTube trainings, I'm sure. Morgan has YouTube trainings. Susan Wade has YouTube trainings. Alyssa Marie has YouTube trainings. There are so many YouTube trainings. There's no reason you guys can't spend an hour each day. Go and find a training. What's something you're not good at? Go find find a video on that thing. That's one thing that I like to do is once a week. I will, and honestly, I probably should do it more than once a week. I literally go on Morgan's YouTube and I'm like, okay, what am I not doing very well at right now? And I go and find a YouTube video on it. And then I go and use it. And then I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. So literally, if I could give any newbie a piece of advice, it would literally just be make the decision. Make the decision and run. Because as soon as you make the decision and start running, there's just no turning back.
So good. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. If you guys have any questions and you want to put them in the chat really quick, you might have already asked them that I missed. I've been trying to keep up with it, but so much wisdom. And honestly, she's making this seem easy. Really? Like, we just have to decide right now. Are we ready to run? What do we want? Do we want diamond? Do we want that bonus that's up for grabs? Like, what can we do for our family? What are we here for? Figure that out. If you are one of those people right now that you have been saying for month after month after month that you want to go diamond, I don't care if you're a distributor right now. What does a diamond chart look like? Have you looked at that yet? Do you know where you're headed? Get your chart out, you guys. You should have already had it out, but get your chart out if you don't yet. Figure out your game plan. How much volume do you need? How many people do you need on your team? Because you know what? If you have that in front of you and you see all these empty boxes that you need to fill with new people that you can start working with, it's going to bring excitement. And when you know what you need, those things are going to start coming to you. You're going to start to believe in yourself. You're going to start to look at a chart that might be a little bit scary and realize, hey, you know what? That's not that scary. Every day I'm bringing in more people and that chart's filling up, and like, it's just a matter of getting customers. So Nadia, if you can do it, I know everybody else here can do it, and I'm just so thankful for you. If you have anything else you want to say, go for it. But if not, that's it. I'm going to post this on my YouTube. You can rewatch it.
Yeah, I think I'm sweating right now, so I think I said everything I wanted to say.
Well, thank you so much. It was awesome. And I have all the scripts, everything that she sent me. So if you didn't get it from the chat here tonight, I'll put it in her group chat. If there's anybody else that still needs it, you can reach out to me and I will get that to you. But thank you so, so much.